All right, here we go. Welcome to Think React Lead, Dom Faussette. Wanted to talk about, as the title says, reasons why you keep missing opportunities. Look at it from this standpoint. I'm just going to jump right into it. Opportunities come and they're missed, whether it's a promotion, whether it's maybe a meeting with that one or those two people that would be instrumental into getting your business to where it is you want to go. Let me tell you why those opportunities are missed. Simply, it's a lack of foresight. It's a lack of, we've heard hustle and grind. Let's kind of jump into the body for a second. We've all heard of intuition, and we all know about the gut feeling. There are times throughout your day or throughout your week where you might be tired and your body is telling you to do something. It's telling you to act, whether it be read a book, whether it be purchase a certain food type, whether it be go to the gym, whether it be just any specific activity. And what more people end up doing is they wait. They miss that opportunity to proceed. Imagine this. You're on a firing range. You have a gun. When you pull the trigger, what are you expecting to happen? You're expecting an immediate response and the bullet comes out. Well, you pull the trigger, the fire pin hits the charge on the round, and the round goes down range. Well, what happens if that firing pin never hit that charge? See, your intuition is the trigger pull. The trigger is pulled, and that's the world, God, whatever you believe in. That's that telling you what you need to do. And ironically enough, it's never at a convenient time, and it's never a convenient feeling. For example, there are many of you out there that don't have the best relationship, and you're grown, with your parents, that don't have the best relationship with your siblings. We'll step into the spouse realm in a minute. Whatever it is that's nagging at you to develop that relationship or repair it, whether you're right or wrong, the purpose is to repair that because something inside of you is going to change. More oftentimes than not, you'll probably end up becoming softer. And you're going to know what it's going to feel like to forgive, because there's that moment has to take place in order for you to get to the next level or the next phase and be successful in your life. But what do? We put things on the back burner. And I've said this several times before. You cannot expect to lead the world or outside of your front door if at first you can't lead from behind your front door, which is the inside of your home, the confines of your home. If things aren't right or correct with you and your spouse, how in the world are you going to be able to stay dialed in and lead a team or start a company or lead a corporation or lead a department? You might be able to lead from a standpoint of historical events, i.e. you went to college and you learned some things about leading, but it's not you. Because who you are today, yes, your past made you, but the purposed person that you are today needs some clarity. And the reason why you're missing opportunities is because you lack clarity. Many of you are missing opportunities that you do not realize you're missing. And more oftentimes than not, in my experience, opportunities gained show results, show an increase of income in our household, in our business. But because you are waiting to the last minute to do something and you're not operating or moving off of your intuition, you miss opportunities. There's really no reason you should be at the same job for 10 or 15 years and not doing something else as well. There's nothing wrong with working for the same company 10 to 20 years. I'm sure they'll take great care of you. But staying within these confines of a title is wrong. So you're an engineer. Okay, you weren't birthed an engineer. For example, a tree grows, right? And it's an adult tree. From that tree, you can get a boat, you can get a chair, you can get a table. Heck, you can build a log cabin, and the list goes on. An oak tree is not just an oak tree. An oak tree is not birthed and raised just to be cabinets. Apply that to self. Yes, you have one thing that you're doing, but most of society is doing this thing where they do a couple of things. They go to work, they may take part in some social activity. Many people go to different religious establishments, and then they do that all over again. And it might be cool at first when you're in your 20s, but when you're 30, 40, 50 and above, you become bored. And what happens when you're bored? Ideas can't flourish. And what happens when ideas can't flourish? Passion can't be pushed. Passion can't be purpose. Passion, your dreams can't be fulfilled. They can be revealed all day long, but they can't be fulfilled. I'm bringing this up because there are people, and I'm not talking about teenagers prepping for college. I'm talking about adults our age that want more out of life and aren't doing anything to get there. See, if you're W-2'd, yeah, who cares you make 6-figure salary? You're not leaving a legacy doing that. Why can't you start a business while you're W-2'd? See, no person of valor is recognized because they do average things. When are you going to engage your intuition, kick down your doors of self-doubt? And you might be saying it's not self-doubt. It is, my friend. Trust me on this one. You're doubting your ability. For example, many of you should be doing videos. I've had conversations with so many people on social media about, kind of the setup that I have. How do I do videos? And I do peruse your page on occasion, and I don't see any videos. If you have a message, or you have a product, or you have a company, there's no reason you shouldn't be doing at least, a quick 30-second video to add value to whoever's following you. See, we do this thing where we want to increase the followers on our social media platforms, but we're not really doing anything with the followers that we currently have. So my question to you is when are you going to engage the better self? Because doing the same thing week after week after week after week, that's not engaging the better self. You may have built yourself up to the person that you are today, but there should be multiple changes throughout a year, not a change a year if you're lucky. So how does that happen? By engaging your intuition. If we've all, and many of you do this, you have a notepad by your bed and you get up when you have a dream or something's brought to your attention and you write it down. But what if you were just to engage one gut-wrenching intuition a week? How many weeks in a year? How much change are you going to bring about your life if you were to take action? And we've all heard take action, but I need you to understand. So the react portion of think, react, lead, the reason why it's not think, act, lead is because by the time you react, your body has prepped itself. In the military, we call it a preparatory command, right? Before you make a move, there's a preparatory command. Your body, your psychology, your brain, your heart, your gut has prepped itself to act in that moment. Your body has prepped itself to act from your head to your toes. But what happens is that's a moment that's fleeting, and we miss that. So when we actually go to act, as we might call act, it's actually react. As we go to react, we have to envelop a stronger sense of push, or get some, as we say in the military. because our body is no longer lined up and dialed in and ready to engage at that moment, because we're reacting to a previous thought of action that our body was ready for. So now that we're actually, oh, I'm not tired, I'm ready to make this thing happen right now. I'm reacting. Now our body has to play catch up. Our mind has to play catch up. Our emotions have to play catch up. Our heart has to play catch up to get to where we're at. And what happens more oftentimes than not is that people they get tired at this point, because as you react, it's not supposed to go right, because you typically have never done this before, whatever that thing is that you're going to do. So as you're reacting, it becomes a draw on you and you become drained. And now that whole dream, that whole piece of passion was gone. And now you think about it week after week, month after month, and then it finally takes one person or a handful of people to say, you know what, you would be good at this. And you've been thinking about the this or the it for the last 12 months, but it took somebody to encourage you to get to where you're at, or to get to where you need to be from a mind, body, spirit standpoint. And now you've wasted a year, you wasted 12 months. Why? Why not engage in the moment when the opportunity presents itself? And that's rhetorical, but even the simple things, you go to the gym when you're ready to. No, go to the gym when you're not ready to. You go to work, you just get there on time. How about you get there about 45 minutes early so you can relax? Or maybe meet some other people within the establishment. Those simple acts of kindness that your intuition is telling you that you should probably do, but because it involves you writing a note and getting a card and then going to the mailbox and then mailing it, and the mailbox it's across town, or where you just don't have time because you have all these things to do. I've never read anywhere that our bodies engage the highest rate of fulfillment in a stubborn or relaxed state. When is a lion most impressive? When it's roaring or when it's hunting? When is a cheetah most impressive? When it's running or when it's hunting? When is a ram most impressive? When it's fighting or when it's hanging or standing on a little rock with his hooves on top of the rock on a cliff of a mountain? That ram is not impressive in a prairie. It doesn't belong there. So when are you going to be most impressive? When you're doing something or some things that most of society is not doing. But they're not doing it because it's not meant for them to do. Your purpose is given to you, specific to you. And everything needed to fulfill that and make whatever that thing is, that it thing, to make it successful, is inside of you. But if you were to take the seed of a tree and right before you planted it, said to your, and you're the seed, so you know what? I don't know how this is going to build a boat, or how I'm going to be able to make a boat out of this, or how I'm going to be able to build a log cabin out of this, or tables or chairs. It's a seed. It has to be planted. So your seed, your dreams, your vision of where you want to be has to be planted. And we've all heard something equivalent to this. You're not birthed and turn 21. It takes 21 years to turn 21. Well, whatever that thing is that you know that you should be doing, it's not going to happen on accident. And even when you start and you fail, and we've all heard the phrase failing forward, but sometimes that failure lends you into another opportunity. See, I joined the military. It wasn't a career thing. And I I was canine in the military because I failed a swim test for pararescue. Well, me failing that swim test put me into canine. Me being in canine taught me how to speak, because up until that point, I stuttered. But being around and deployed with the dog all the time and not around people that often, and I'm not going to go into that, but I learned how to be comfortable with who I was. And then that brought me into law enforcement. Law enforcement gave me a sense of confidence and assuredness as I kicked indoors and did things that most people won't do, the cool stuff you see on television. And from there, that gave me the edge in the corporate world. And I did the corporate thing for about 14 years. And then everything I learned in the corporate world up to that point brought me into speaking and coaching. But what if I joined the military and just said, you know what, I'm just going to do this. Like that's it. This is my life. And I retire at 38, 40 years of age, and that's it. I wouldn't be fulfilling my purpose. I'm not knocking anybody who's retired. Like that's not the purpose for Dom Faussette. So my question to you is, what more can you do? And why aren't you doing more? What more can you do for yourself? What more can you do for those that you say you love? The more active you are, the more action you take, the less time you have to think about little things that are mundane, that mean nothing to you. You really shouldn't have time to watch television outside of an episode every now and then. You shouldn't have time to be partying all the time and hanging out all the time and always I say gallivanting, because you haven't built a stage, or you haven't built the stage that you're actually capable of building. Somebody else, like your current stage, for somebody else, that's their highest point of success. And that's great for them. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about you. As you're thinking about this, you should be taking notes. I want you for self. After this message, share it, because somebody else probably needs to hear it, or maybe get somebody else's opinion on this message. And if you have questions, you can always message me. Most of you have my phone number at 602-481-0650, or it can be reached at thinkreactlead.com. But just some things to think about today while you're active and you're breathing. Don't be the guy or gal that breathed their last breath with regrets. Again, my name is Dom Faussette with Think React Lead. Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat soon.